TV.
The government has issued a 30-day closure notice to the Good News International Church associated with Paul Mackenzie and the New Life Prayer Center of televangelist Ezekiel Odero over what it terms as non-compliance. Registrar of Societies Jane Joram told the Senate Ad Hoc Committee that they are investigating the proliferation, of religious organizations in the country today. And with more details is none other than our Brian Mushiri. Brian, you covered that appearance before the Senate Ad Hoc Committee. What for you stood out? Not hear him, but let's take a look at that story and then hear from him on what stood out for him in the course of those hearings. As I said, the controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie and his wife Rhoda Maweo, and that is the Shaka following the Shakahola tragedy, have been detained for 30 days. But before we listen to that, let's hear what Brian Mushiri prepared for us in his report on the Registrar of Societies.
The New Life Prayer Church, run by Pastor Ezekiel Odero and Good News International associated with Paul Mackenzie, now have 30 days to show cause as to why they should not be deregistered. According to the Registrar of Societies, Jane Joram, her office has no record of tax filings from the Ezekiel-led church.
On the New Life Prayer Center and Church, that is the one for Ezekiel Odero, it was registered on 11 September 2012. However, since then, they haven't complied with the requirements of the Societies Act. No returns have been filed, and therefore we've also issued them with a notice to show cause why this society should not be deregistered.
Attorney General Justin Muturi acknowledged a challenge with the operations in the office of the Registrar of Societies, which is under his docket.
And I want to admit that indeed there are lapses, because when people do not file returns for 10 years or for whatever period, one would expect that maybe there's a mechanism of noticing. But you can imagine how much easier it would be if we were digitized. The registrar would just, at the touch of a button, be able to see these ones have not filed their returns.
However, lawyers representing Ezekiel Odero have indicated that their client has complied with all government requirements.
All state agencies have been told, train your guns on Pastor Ezekiel. So, this will come to an end. I have full instructions from the church and from Pastor Ezekiel to assure every follower in this country that Pastor Ezekiel has no connection to Shakahola massacres.
The two churches have been under investigations for the deaths that have occurred in Shakahola, where more than 100 people have died. There are 40,000 registered religious organizations in Kenya out of over 100,000 societies. Brian Mushiri, NTV, Nairobi.